Hey guys, it's Michael, and today I'm here to do my wrap-up for the BoutofBooks 13 Readathon. Overall, it was fun vlogging and whatnot, but books read otherwise, it was normal. Like, I basically would have read the same amount. Actually, I feel like I read less than what I normally do during a given week. Actually, I read like mostly graphic novels in one book. For some odd reason, I don't know what it was last week, but I just did not feel like reading. I don't know why. This week, actually, I'm doing really well on reading, but I'll catch you up on my wrap-up. But yeah, these are the books that I started and finished during the readathons. Because I finished some books out during the readathon that I started beforehand. But these are the books that I started and finished during the readathon. So yeah. In case you haven't seen one of my previous videos, I bought this book. It's a notebook from Barnes & Noble, and I bought an ink and quill, and I started using this to actually write the books that I've read, and then I have actually write who it is by, my rating by them, and then I put a star on the ones that I really love, so there's that. So yeah, let's get started. Ooh, okay. Alright, the first book that I finished was Saga Volume 1 by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. I bought this book during the free comic book day, and I just wanted to read it because I wanted to start with a graphic novel, because I thought I knew that starting with a graphic novel I would be able to finish, you know, keep reading, but it didn't turn out that way. But anyways, this book is really hyped. And it has a lot of good reviews and a lot of high praises for it. And I thought it was amazing. I loved it. First off, what I loved most about it was that it was really imaginative. Just the way that the world is built and the creature design, everything about it was just so fresh and cool. Like, this was a cool book. Story-wise, I really enjoyed it, and the characters were really interesting. I just love that. The art style is so cool. It has like this water paint look to it. Really enjoyable, especially like when it shows the background. It has some really, really pretty art in this book. I really enjoyed it. I'm definitely gonna keep reading on to the next book. The next volumes. I gave that 4.5 out of 5 stars. I really liked it. The next one that I read was El Defo by C.C. Bell. This book, I think it's recently released actually. I found it at just randomly going through the children's section, the comic book section at my local library. You know what? I thought this book was pretty good actually. It's about this, I believe it's a memoir, and it's about basically how she deal with being deaf, essentially. I thought it was pretty good. I don't really have anything to say about it because, I mean, that's all you really need to know story-wise. The art is really nice. It's like anamorphic. I don't know. What's that word? Oh, crap. What is that word that you call when animals are represented as human, or humans are represented by animals? I forgot, but it's that, because she's a bunny. There's that. It was really nice. I mean, it had moments where actually, like, it was cool because she would imagine that she was a superhero. Yeah, I thought it was nice. Yeah, I gave it 3.5 out of 5. The next book that I listened to and I finished during the readathon was Helter Skelter, The True Story of the Manson Murders by Vincent Bugliosi, narrated by Scott Brick. I actually started listening to this at work, and my coworker asked me what am I listening to, and I told him, and we actually got in a conversation about it. It was really nice because I did not know a lot about this story. I actually heard about it like a couple of times, but I didn't know all the details about it, and holy crap, it was really interesting and kind of scary almost. This was an abridged version of abridged listening of the normal book, because the normal book has like 700 pages. Good God, it was long. But this one was like really short. But I felt like it got the point across essentially. This book is about the Manson murders in the Hollywood during, was it? I think during the 60s? I forgot the period of time. But it was really interesting, and the way the book unravels, essentially, the way the story goes unfold, it was really interesting, especially the chapter where he talks about Bolicini, where he talks about Manson's life. Oh my gosh, talk about interesting. Yeah, this book overall I thought was a really good true crime novel. So good, so good. 4 out of 5 stars. It was really nice and super violent. Oh my god. Ooh, it got really violent during some moments. I was like, oh, okay. It starts off violent, so if that's not your thing, yeah, it's really violent. The next book that I finished was Dog Songs by Marie Oliver. This book is a collection of poems about dogs. Like on my vlog, I said it was really enjoyable. I mean, there was my favorite poem was definitely the one, oh gosh, I forgot what it was called. It was about dogs being on leashes. Yeah, it was that poem I enjoyed the most. The other ones were, some of them were okay, some of them weren't, like, it wasn't the best, I felt like, but since it was about dogs, I thought it was really cool. So yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it, so I gave that 3 stars out of 5. The next book that I read, Hearville, How Merca Got Her Sword. Yeah, by Barry Dutch. This is a graphic novel about Merca, who is Jewish, and she's basically a little girl who meets this witch during a walk from school, and essentially how meeting this witch, she gets chased around by a pig, and adventure ensues from there. You know, I thought it was pretty okay. This is really cool. I love the graphic style. It's in this like sepia tone, and the way it moves from panels to panels, and like sometimes it wouldn't have panels, it would just have like freeform almost. Yeah, the graphic style, I really liked it, and that's why I think I wanted to finish it. The graphic style was really cool, but also I thought it was really informative. I learned a few things about being Jewish. Yeah, I thought it was a good graphic novel. I gave it 3 stars out of 5. The last book that I finished and started during the readathon, yeah, this book I have a lot to say, so let's get started. It is Hofstra by Jill Alexander Aspbaum. In case you don't know, Hofstra means housewife in German. Trust me, I had to look it up. This is a really interesting novel, and I really enjoyed it. It's about this girl named Anna who basically has like an affair. And you basically follow her. Before we start with this, let me tell you, the best thing about this book is the writing. Oh my gosh, the writing is really good. Oh my gosh, the writing had this essence, like it was flowing out the page. Like it was just like, whoo, here it is, like on a silver platter. It was really nice. And come to find out, apparently Aspbaum is like really familiar with poetry. And so after I found that out, I was like, oh yeah, you can kind of see it. Like the way the words flow is really cool. But then also the way, the structure of this novel, I really liked. So this book deals with, it actually has 3 like points to it, I guess you could say. Where one is she's talking to her therapist, so you're seeing what she's doing. And during this part, when she's talking to her therapist, it gets really philosophical and really questioning about her affair, which is whew, so nice. But then also it has her in the present time, and I'm gonna talk about more in the present time, but also in the other part was about the past and what she's doing in her past that leads up to the present. But during the present, this book, while she's having her affair, she's also learning German because she's from the States. So she's from the US and she moved to Switzerland. So she's learning German, and the best part about this was that while she's learning German, it has this way of connecting how learning a language is going with her affair. It was done so well. I loved it because like it had moments where she would talk about how a word for German, a misnomer, like dang. Oh, what's the word called when a word in another language look like it's something else but it's not something else? I'm blanking out right now, but that's what I mean. Like how she would also conjugate verbs and how that conjugation relates to her marriage. Oh my gosh. I loved it. If you study language, you'll understand what I'm saying. But anyways, as she's learning German, how that is tying back to her affair, and I loved it. I thought that part was just really good. So let me talk about Anna as a character. I feel like when I read books, I do not need to, I don't need to morally or emotionally or any type of connection to you. I don't need to necessarily agree with your decisions, but if you do something that I don't agree with, as an author, you need to portray through your book that as a reader, I need to understand why you're doing this. Like, why are you cheating on your husband, who you have kids with? And why are you doing this knowing good and well it's morally wrong? And I felt like this book really does that well. Like, I understood why she was doing this. I didn't agree with some of her decisions, but I understood why she was doing this as a character, and I think that's why I connected with her. You're not really happy with your life, and you want more of an excitement. Exactly. And I think that combination of me understanding her as a character, the writing, the structure, I thought this book was fantastic. I really liked it. There was some sexy times in this book I was not expecting, so I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, I really enjoyed this book. I gave it like a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I really like this book, and I think it's gonna be one of my favorites this year, that's for sure. So those are the books I read during the readathon. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 books. To me, that's okay compared to my normal books. I would have read definitely more graphic novels by now, or at least some manga. So for some reason, I just didn't read a lot, and I don't know what it was. Yeah, so yeah, hopefully there's another readathon coming up, because I love doing these readathons because it's a reason for me to vlog. So yeah, I had a really good time vlogging. I don't always do the challenges because I just don't. But I love to vlog regardless. Oh yeah, let me know if you did the readathon and how you did. So yeah, until then, I'll see you guys till later. Bye!